Hello, welcome to a Soulprint Pendulum Friday. Thank you very, very much for being here. Just a couple little things. First of all, welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm very glad that you're here, and I hope you enjoy the Soulprint experience and community. Um, there, I have recorded. I'm just giving you a heads up. I recorded a video today that you're going to be seeing on Wednesday, I think. It's about the 1864 Arizona abortion deal. Um, I don't know what happened, but there is like the first minute or so, the words and my mouth are not in sync. I don't know what happened. The rest of the video is fine. So I'm aware of it. I'm not going to re-record the video. So if it makes you really crazy, just skip ahead to about a minute and you should be good. So the amazing Joyce, actually, she has a life. It's amazing. And she sent me a message saying that what she's done is she has included all of the comments or questions that had come in like before she had to leave. And so if your question came in after that point in time, not to worry, she will get to it and it will be included in next week pendulum reading. And honestly, there's a lot of them today anyway. So without any more chat, let's get going. Here we go. First question. Will the jury in the hush money case be comprised of reasonable people? Yes, it will. You know what? I seem to remember just a little while ago, I was talking about the jury for that trial, and I said that it was going to end up being a really nice balance between ethnicities, male, female. It just felt like the jury looked like it was going to just be a really good group of people. That was the energy then. Hopefully it remains. Will the prosecutors in the hush money case be able to weed out the supporters and impanel a jury of solid people? So, yes. Yeah. Will Trump be found guilty of at least 20 of the 34 felonies in the hush money case? Yes. Also, it's another one that I think that I've addressed at some point. I'm not sure if I said 28 of the 34. I think maybe my number was a bit higher, but honestly, I don't remember. Trump is charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records under Article 175 of the New York Penal Code. If convicted of the felony bookkeeping fraud charge, Trump faces 4 years in prison for each count. But prison is not mandatory. Will Judge Marchand sentence Trump to serve jail time? Okay, so as of right now, the energy is no. I think it might depend on how just often and severely pisses off the judge with his behavior. This is the thing. Next question. Trump will appeal the guilty verdict and any jail sentence. Will the appellate court uphold Judge Marchand's jail sentence? Okay. So as of right now, we don't think that there's going to be a jail sentence. It feels like not. And and there's all those reasons for it. It's about security. It's about a bunch of stuff. But I've never ever seen him running around in an orange jumpsuit. I'm not saying he's not going to be confined somewhere, but I don't see him being popped into, Rikers or some other like jail system. So I'm going to just reword this question because I want to know, when he appeals, is the appellate court going to just simply uphold the guilty verdicts? And that's a yes. Alrighty. I would like to ask, will Trump have to sell any of his assets over the next year? So, have you heard that apparently when that $94 million went up for the E. Jean Carroll, um, bond thing, apparently that money didn't come from him. And in fact, it wasn't sort of even money. It was almost like a promissory note issued by the insurance company that was covering this thing. And her lawyer, who I'm pretty sure her name is Robbie Kaplan or Kaplan, she apparently is on that, and she is following up and saying, whoa, wait a minute, this money is not secure. So that's going to be interesting. And of course, we know the mess he's in now with the 175. And not only did they lie to the judge about whether that 454 could be found, but that is also a mess. And I have to say, I think that these bond issues are actually going to end up causing him some grief as he goes forward, because it's like he's circumventing all the rules. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe let's just ask that. Hold on. Did I answer the one about assets? Let's answer that first. So will Trump have to sell any of his assets over the next year? Okay, yes. Is one or both of the bonds that are now in place going to need to be redone? Yes. I wasn't even going to go into a long spiel about how I thought maybe that could be done. They just will be. Oh, this is an interesting one. Will there be any security issues or problems with the Summer Olympics in France? Okay. So, for those of you who might be new, when the pendulum goes just still like that and it doesn't respond, it means a couple of things. It means it's none of our business. Sometimes you'll get that if you're, just depending on kind of the question. But very often it will happen when the answer hasn't been determined. It's like the energy hasn't sort of come together to make a call one way or the other. So for right now, the answer is unknown. Maybe let's review that. If whoever sent this question, maybe fire it back just before the Olympics, and we'll see if there's some, better energy there. Will Arizona turn blue in November? Okay, so this is a little yes. Is Arizona more likely to go purple, where there's sort of a split or a better split between Democrats and Republicans? Yeah. So we're looking at purple. And you know what? We'll take it. If Arizona right now is red, let's take purple and be happy. I don't understand this first time. Will Jack Smith come over and win his case once Kaplan is replaced? Okay. Um, let's see where we're going here. First of all, you did see that she did a reversal on a previous ruling that basically said, yeah, sure, all of the people's names that were part of the evidence, including Secret Service stuff. Yeah, sure, go ahead and just release their names and their addresses, whatever you want. And then she reversed that because apparently, I don't know, maybe somebody got a hold of her and stopped being a dummy. But when she reversed it, it was the snippiest order. And she literally was very, very sarcastically explaining to Jack Smith that he didn't instruct her clearly enough on the law. And it was his fault because he should be instructing her on the law. Apparently. Give me a break. Okay. As of right now, is Judge Hannon going to be the sitting judge when the trial commences, when it starts? Is she going to be the sitting judge? Okay, no. It's a pretty strong no, too. Ultimately, is Jack Smith going to win the um, the Florida case with regards to the documents? And that's a yes. Alrighty. Will the Tulsa massacre victims receive reparations? I wish I knew something about the Tulsa massacre victims, but I'm just going to ask the question. It's a sad thing there were victims of a massacre. Good Lord. Are they going to receive reparations? Okay, we've got a yes going. It's not a big, huge yes, but it is a yes. Is that going to happen within the next 3 years? Yes. Which is kind of impressive, I have to say, because some of this stuff just moves slower than molasses. Will George Santos serve time in prison? Um, the person's research shows that he is due to stand trial in September on 23 charges and could face up to 22 years in prison. So, is George, yeah, is George Santos going to be found guilty of the charges he faces in September? Yes. And is there going to be jail time attached to that um, ruling? Yes. Also, did you happen to see that Bob Menendez and his wife, the judge on Thursday said that their trials had to be separated. So that's really interesting. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he finally resigned his seat. Correct me if I'm wrong. And basically saying that, um, he was sure that he would be found, absolved from all these horrible charges, and the people would accept him back or something. I don't know, some nonsense. But if I'm pretty sure he either has resigned or has said he's not running again, or there's something going on there where he's finally decided to back away from politics. This is an interesting one. Will Prince Harry eventually become king? And if so, a possible timeline. So, Nostradamus apparently predicted that in 2024, the King of the Isles, that's England, could be driven out by force and replaced by an unexpected successor. There are so many people now. I think Harry would be fifth in line, because it would be William and then his three children and then Harry and then his children, I think. Okay, so will Prince Harry eventually become king? Sorry, that felt like a sneeze that was about to explode out of my nose, and it didn't. And isn't that annoying when that happens? All right. Will Prince Harry eventually become King of England? No. Is King Charles going to remain on the throne for the next 2 years? No. Will the monarchy survive, and will Prince William at some point become king? And that's a yes, just for anybody who wanted to know. Will Trump make it through the hush money case without a mental or physical breakdown? Well, you know what? That's a really good question. Is Trump going to make it through the hush money case without a mental or physical breakdown? No. Is his breakdown likely to initially show itself mentally? Yes. Okay. Will Mike Braun be the next governor of Indiana? As of right now, I'm getting a no on that. Some low-income families will see more expensive broadband bills this month. Ted Cruz and John Thune and other Republicans refused to approve the funding for approve further funding for the Affordable Connectivity Program. Ted Cruz stated that it was wasteful spending. What an idiot! I would like to ask the pendulum if our President Biden can work around imprudent Republicans and restore the program. Yes. The Republicans have just reinstated the 1864 abortion law. So I just referenced this. I did a mini on it. It should be coming out Wednesday of next week. And so it was an interesting, basically what it said was that the bottom line is that all of this abortion stuff is really being pushed by men who are simply afraid of women's power, women in the workforce, and they are literally trying to turn back time so that it's not that they just want to strip women of their reproductive rights and autonomy. They want to strip them of everything. They want them almost to become back, to become a chattel again. It's not going to happen. But that's kind of what's going on there. Now, speaking of which, that video is coming out, as I said, on Wednesday. I was asked another question, and it was about the divine feminine and the energies that are currently swirling around. And it was a really good question. And so today, on Friday, right around the time that this video comes out, within 15 or 20 minutes, there's going to be another video that comes out. It's going to be called The Healing Energy We Embrace and the Divine Feminine. This is a channeled message. It's a really interesting one. So if you're at all interested, please look for it. And it is going to be released on both the Soulprint Tarot channel, this channel, and Soulprint Insights. But it was a really good question, and I thought that it would be really interesting to do an actual channeling on it as opposed to another format. Will any of Trump's children ever run for political office after his demise? No. There might be talk about it. They might roll the idea over. It's going to be one of those, well, let's just throw this out there and see if anybody bites. But they're not going to be able to whip up any enthusiasm for it. Will the Ontario Liberal Party win the by-election in Milton, Ontario? Okay, as of right now, that's a pretty little no. Um, so we'll see. I don't know when that election is. Will Johnson defeat Marsha Blackburn to become Tennessee's new senator? Gloria Johnson, will she defeat Marsha Blackburn? That's a yes. It would be nice to see Marsha Blackburn gone. Um, just saying. Okay, so there's a really long question here about under the Judicial Conduct and Disabilities Act, anyone can file an ethics complaint against a federal judge. Has a formal ethics complaint been filed against Judge Hannon? No. On April 10th, an article said that Walmart in the USA will roll back prices to pre-inflation prices. Will other media outlets report on this? Yes, but what I'm hearing is a report on it like when it actually happened, as opposed to they said they're gonna. And will other corporations lower or roll back prices? Yes. Now, what I'm hearing is that it's going to take time. This is not going to happen in a heartbeat. It almost feels as if it's going to be like a public pressure campaign that really pushes this forward. Because, of course, what's going on is all of the metrics for a healthy and strong economy are doing amazing, except inflation continues to rise. And so that just on a day-to-day bottom line, situation is making just living harder and more expensive, right? I mean, your bread costs more, your eggs cost more, and so and my understanding, or energetically my impression, my intuitive sense, is that this inflation boils down to price gouging. Um, when Joe Biden was going on at I think it was the State of the Union address, where he was talking about the chocolate bars and how chocolate bars have gotten smaller, but they're still charging you for the same price. Listen, across the board, all kinds of stuff, all of a sudden shrunk, just a little, but enough. Maybe that most people wouldn't notice, but some people really did, that the prices didn't go down as you were getting less content. And there's a lot of that going on. And so it's going to take a pressure, campaign to get some of these places to realize that they just can't, increase their profits. That's price gouging. That's going to be addressed. But like I say, it feels like it's going to be a process. They're telling me that a lot of these issues seem to be heating up in the summertime, is what I'm being told. This is an interesting one. Did the solar eclipse cause more people to pass on during that time? 3 people from my church passed in the last week. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. No one likes to lose people from church, I guess. I don't go, but I'm assuming. Okay. Did the solar eclipse energy cause people to just decide it was a good time to leave the planet? Okay, so yes. Now, before everybody gets all wound up, were these people that have decided to go into the light or surrender their body, was that their intention subconsciously or at a soul level to do that in this sort of time frame. Okay. So understand what they've said. They've said, yeah, more people than sort of maybe typical did go into the light, but there was also the intention that that was what they wanted to do, not necessarily because of the eclipse, but because it was time. All right. Will Judge Marchand have to excuse himself because his daughter works for a firm that does digital campaign work? No. Right. Is Mika and Joe from MSNBC's Morning Joe political program having a marital issue? And it's showing live on TV. Joe is constantly interrupting her, and Mika has lately snapped back to where you can see the discomfort on the faces of the panel, but he doesn't seem to care. All right, first of all, let me just say, he interrupts everybody. That man just does not shut up. I'm telling you, if he could make a statement in 15 words, it will take him 75. And he's always interrupting people. But I'm just going to broadly ask if there is a concern. I don't like kind of dipping into people's marriages. Are Mika and Joe doing okay? Is their marriage okay? Yeah. Will the Utah Dam that is currently leaking through a 60-foot crack, holy cow, that's a big crack, totally fail? Okay, it's gone still. I'm hearing reinforcements. I'm hearing something's going to come in, be done. There's going to be some sort of a stopgap, sort of band-aid measurement, is what I'm hearing. Will there be justice for Stephen Miller? Yes. Do the MAGAs really believe Trump didn't commit any crimes? Are they lying about it? Okay. Do Trump's MAGA followers actually think that he committed any of the acts that he has been charged with? Okay, so yes. Do they think because he did them, there should be no repercussions? Yes. So basically, whatever he did, however he does it, it just doesn't matter because he can. He just can because he can. I saw this blurb, just to digress for a half a minute. I saw this blurb. I think it was, I don't even know what channel it was, but it was somebody on the street, definitely looked like they were coming out of a Trump rally. Everybody had Trump hats on, and et cetera, et cetera. And he was talking about Michael Flynn, and Michael Flynn coming out with this statement of there needs to be, I can't even remember, one religion under one God, or one country. I think it was one country under one God. And people were asked, like, do you believe that? Do you think that's accurate? And it was surprising the number of people that said yes. And when they then followed that question up with, okay, but Trump's grandchildren, he has grandchildren that are being raised in the Jewish faith. How do you reconcile that? It was really interesting. I have to say, I think it was a 6 or 7 minute video. At the end of it, all I said was, that hurt my brain. It really just hurt my brain. Alrighty. Again, thank you so very, very much for being here for a Pendulum Friday. Please, if you are so inclined, look for the video. If you got the little bell thing going, you'll have been notified, called The Healing Energy We Embrace and the Divine Feminine. I found it really, really fascinating. Thank you very, very much. It's Friday. Have a great weekend. Hopefully, wherever you are, you're having amazing weather. And don't forget to do something nice for yourself and someone else. Bye bye for now.